Greetings, comic book fans. I'm Jason. It is the 19th of January 2017, and you're watching Comic Haul Weekly, my weekly video where I share with you the brand new books I've picked up this week. This week was and it started out as 16 books. It then moved up to 17 because there was one I didn't expect out this week, and then I went back and got two more. So it ended up in 19 books I picked up this week. First things first, apologies, no video last week. I did record one, but for some reason the sound and the picture were kind of out of sync, and so I'd done the video late. I'd recorded it on the Sunday, and by the time I come to like edit it, it was too late to kind of do another one. And then I just didn't have time on the Monday, and I thought, you know what, I thought Tuesday's way too late to do another one, so I thought, you know what, I'll leave it for a week. So apologies for that. In future, I will make sure, even if I'm editing it later, together later, I will make sure when I've recorded it that it's okay before I kind of move on. But we live and learn. Some of us, we mainly live, but we're supposed to live and learn. So yeah, let's get into these week's books. First things first, pull list update. I added the WWE book, which I enjoyed the first issue of that, and that come out this week, and the one shot they did. So I'm liking what they're doing with that book so far. So I'm going to give that book a go. And I also added Batman back onto my book, which I said I was going to do, and I've done that now. There may be a few more books after this week because I'm kind of looking a couple of books that I tried out this week. If I like them, I may be dropping a couple to add a couple. So we'll see how we go. So let's get into these books without further ado. And as always, I'm going to do this the usual way. The first books are the books that I'm behind on, so it'll be a while before I get to them. Then it'll be the books that I'll be reading over the next couple of days, and then we'll have the couple of books that I've read already. So, just kicking things off with the books that I'm behind on. We have Deadpool and the Mercs for Money, issue number 7. I'm behind on this. I was read this up until the team split up, so I haven't read any of the issues with the new team. So that's where I've got to catch up. But I think I might be all right with this because it's supposedly a tie-in, but you don't always know. So I'll try and catch up on those issues before I read this. But yeah, a Deadpool book I've been enjoying, so I want to get up to date with that. I want to see what the new team is like. We've got Aquaman issue number 15, which I am contemplating dropping because I'm so far behind. I must be at least 10 issues behind on this by now. So I'm kind of contemplating dropping it. Even though I like Aquaman and I love the partnership with him and Mira, and I often find myself when reading it, I'm always on the side of Atlantis rather than Earth, than the surface land rather. But I don't know, I'm just so far behind on it. I'm just thinking, should I just cut ties with it? And especially, I don't know the ins and outs yet, but I read somewhere on Twitter somebody was outraged that some of the DC books, I don't know if all of them are, but there's plans to put them back up to $3.99. And the books that come out twice a month, I would definitely cut down on a few of those. And Aquaman could, that's why I'm kind of contemplating get rid of Aquaman now to kind of get ready in case it's one of the books that do get put up. We then have Batman issue number 15, which I've got to catch up on this one. But I've done well. I'm almost caught up. I've had 2 issues before I'm caught up totally with Detective Comics, and then Batman will be next. We've got Kill or Be Killed, which I'm a few issues behind on that. We've got Black Hammer, giant-sized annual, which I do like this cover. Makes it feel special. And I'm looking forward to getting into that once I've caught up with the rest of Black Hammer. We've got Harbinger Renegade, issue number 3. We've got Generation Zero, issue number 6, I'm behind on. So those are the books that I'm behind on. Now we've got the books that I'm going to be reading. We've got Kamandi Challenge, issue 1. I don't know exactly what the Kamandi Challenge is going to be. I'm interested in it, and I'm kind of looking at picking it up. In the back here it explains, so I'll have a good read of that later, so I'll know what the Kamandi Challenge. This issue it just basically reprints old Kamandi stories. I don't know if they're the first ones or what, but it reprints like all the some of the original Kamandi stuff. There's even some like black and white ones in there as well. So it was a dearer book. It was $7.99, which in UK money it was £6 something. I think it was £6.55, something like that, that it translated into. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I always love me a bit of Jack Kirby. And so, you know, even if I wasn't going to pick up the Kamandi challenge, I think I would have picked this up anyway, because it's a good excuse to kind of get to read some Kamandi. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into that. We then have these two books, by the way, are the two books that I went back for, Kamandi, and this one, Curse Words, from Image Comics, written by Charles Soule, issue number 1. It's about, basically, I think it's about an evil wizard. So I'm looking forward to that, because I like Charles Soule's writing. So it'd be interesting seeing him writing his own thing and not like for Marvel or for DC, doing his own thing. I think this should be very interesting. Looking forward to this. So yeah, that could be a book that gets added to my pull list. We then got All New X-Men, issue number 17, which is an Inhuman versus X-Men tie-in. We have the Avengers, issue 3.1, which continues the stories following Captain America, Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch, and kind of these untold stories from their time as the Avengers. I think this has really been done really well. I think White Wade's got all the characters spot on, but also I think the art, there's a kind of retro vibe, and I don't know if it's like the way that it's drawn or inked, or if it's just the colouring, or if it's a combination of all three, but it really works well. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. We then have Black Widow, issue number 10, which I've been enjoying this. This has been good. Speaking of Mark Waid, he and Samney just make an awesome team. We've got Star Wars Dr. Alpha, issue number 3. So I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to go next with this. This is a book for me. Then I'm like, I love the first issue. Second issue, it was cooling off a bit for me. So we'll see where we go with this now. We then have He-Man Thundercats number 4, which is just the perfect piece of nostalgia. The characters are like they were in the original 80s cartoons, so it's just really worked well. They've got a good story to bring them together. And this is just an appropriate time as well. I don't know about in America, but here in the UK, they've just added He-Man and the She-Ra cartoons to Netflix. I was watching a couple of He-Man cartoons yesterday, and it was brilliant. Yes, some of it is kind of aged, but then some of it as well is kind of just like I remember it, and I just, it's a great kind of thing to just lie on the sofa and vegetate and watch. Easy to watch stuff it is. We then have Superman, issue number 15, which I enjoyed the first issue with this story, Multiplicity. Another thing, again, DC with the titles at the top. I love how they do that. But I love the first part of this, so I'm excited to see what happens next. We then got Trinity, issue number 5. And again, I'm a big fan of Manapul. I don't know who's doing the art. It looks like it could be, yeah, it's Manapul back on art. Oh, excellent. I like his writing, but I absolutely adore his art. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This has been good. I've enjoyed this. We then have, this is the one book I wasn't expecting to come out. It is Divinity 3, Arik, Son of the Revolution. The Divinity 3, it's the story they're telling where basically history has been changed and Russia kind of basically ruled the world, while the Soviet Union now rule the world. And this is, in this world, this is the version of Exo Man of War that we've got in this world. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be good. I love these kind of alternate history stories, but also kind of altered realities to the ones we know. So I'm really interested in seeing this kind of distorted version of the Valiant universe. So that should be good. Now the two books that I've read, first up we have WWE issue number 1. This was good. It's got 2 stories in it. The main story carries on from the one shot they did, and it features Seth Rollins just after he turned on the Shield, and it's basically telling the story over a year of him kind of wanting his shot, and he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase so he can get the title. but that he wants to cash it in straight away, and Triple H keeps telling him, no, hold off, I'll tell you when you're ready. And then kind of like Seth talking to Shawn Michaels kind of gets in his head, take your destiny in your own hands. And that doesn't work. That works out well on the one level for him, but it doesn't on the other. The art is really good here. I really like the writing. Dennis Hopeless does a really good job, and it improves on like the WWE storylines. Add really more depth to that story, as kind of you see Seth wanting to kind of take the belt and just prove himself, but Triple H constantly holding him back, saying, no, not yet. The second story, which is only a couple of pages, I think it's 2 pages actually. Yeah, it's 2 pages. The New Day's optimistic Odyssey, and basically they've time travelled back to the past. It's only a 2-page story, but it's a fun little 2 pages. So that was nice, and it kind of breaks the book up nicely. I think so far this book's been really good. I think that it's a great idea to kind of add more depth to the storylines, and I think that's a great idea, a way to use the book. And I think the New Day story is really good as well. Utilizes those characters well. And yeah, I think this has really impressed me, because in the past I've not been too impressed with wrestling related comics. So yeah, this has been good. I've enjoyed this. If you like WWE, I think you'll enjoy it. If not, I don't think you'll be that interested in it. And so finally, the final book I picked up and that I have read, it is Green Arrow issue number 15. I enjoyed this. It didn't blow my socks off awesome, but it was a book that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the art. I thought the art looked good. The use of the colours as well, I think, goes a long way to kind of really helping the art. I mean, that's something that's often very underrated. But yeah, I enjoyed the book, the story. I'm still loving the relationship between Ollie and the Black Canary. I think that's really cool. I'm liking the story and all these threats. There's a great little bit at the beginning. This great kind of monologue thing at the beginning that kind of has him go through all the threats that he's facing, and it really gives you a nice kind of recap of what's going on. So yeah, and the art, I must say, I was very impressed with the art. As I'm flicking through it now, I'm noticing some more nice bits here and there, but yeah, it's good. It's a good book. It's good to have a Green Arrow book that I'm enjoying again. Because Green Arrow is my favorite character, so it's good to have a Green Arrow book that I'm enjoying again. And I'm liking the direction of it, and I'm intrigued because there's so many things going on. It's going to be intriguing to see how Ben Percy balances them all out. But yeah, good stuff. And also we have the return at the end of a character that I'm really interested how she's going to change the dynamic between the main characters. So good stuff. So those are my books for this week. I'm sorry, my camera today, I don't know what's wrong with it. It seems to keep going out of focus. Or maybe that's just my eyesight going out of focus. I will be back next week with another haul video. Hopefully, if I have time, I will be back with a review video as well. Over the weekend, or possibly it would be a comic book opinions video. I'll talk about some of the books that I've been reading, so hopefully that will be up at some point. But yeah, it's been that's pretty much me done. So thank you very much for watching. All it leaves me to say is that I've been Jason. It is the 19th of January 2017. Keep reading, and bye for now.